All right, I'll give it. We'll give it a shot eventually. Sounds kind of like Jonathan Taylor as well, as he's not for everyone. The Colts are now opening up to a trade.
Paying running backs is not for everyone.
That
It's not for
is true.
anybody right now.
It's not for anyone. There are running backs who are getting paid. Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry,
Saquon
Saquon
Barkley.
Barkley, uh, Bijan
Oh, you
Robinson.
didn't like that? It's a rookie contract.
He's getting 13 million.
It's
He's getting three less than what Jonathan Taylor is asking for.
crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Next thing
they
you know, Deuce Vaughn's going to be getting 15.
well, we're on the talk of the Colts, but I guess before we dive too much into what's going on with Jonathan Taylor, the last we talked about the Colts, we were talking about a whale that was being moved for what $20 million over the course of 5 years from Miami to Seattle. So, Sean, where are we at on the whale watch, dude?
The whale watch has come and the whale watch has ended. Lolita has
It's
passed
dead.
on. Yeah.
Lolita, yeah, Lolita's dead, just like Sean's whale watch. Thanks for the update. We'll leave it there.
Way to start the show off on a high note.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
Let me drop it even lower for you. Lolita's companion committed suicide. It banged its head into a wall enough times to kill itself.
What are we doing here?
I'm serious.
He's
My
going
wife
What
low,
are
was
we
man.
talking to me about it in tears the other night.
was the companion going to go with Lolita or was it going to
I don't
stay?
I don't believe so. It was
So it was
just
going to commit suicide either way.
probably. Whales have feelings, all right?
Good job, SeaWorld.
Yeah.
PETA's not doing their job as usual.
All right.
All right, now that the whale watch is done and gone, thankfully.
Thanks for
Uh
all that information, Sean. Thanks for your long-winded spiel on Whale Watch.
Supposed to be prepared. Come in, just news dropping and then leave.
Uh, it was supposed to go for 2 years. Supposed to go for 2 years, man.
He would have had his own segment.
Somebody who's not getting their own segment, Jonathan Taylor. Uh, he's now shown up to practice. The Colts have given him the green light to seek a trade, kind of like Tyreek Hill, and he is finding out on the market if somebody is willing to pay for him or not. So far, not many teams have reached out. I think there are 6 teams that have reached out. Uh, from the rumors so far, the Eagles are the only big player that's coming in, offering, I believe, players and picks to compensate. The Colts are requesting a minimum of a first round or multiple day 2 picks that would equate to a first round.
And see, the Eagles don't make a whole lot of sense to me. The only team that I had saw that was throwing their hat in the bucket or whatever the phrase is, it was Miami. Uh, I think Miami makes a lot of sense for both parties. Um, but you know, I wouldn't say I'd be scared, but I would prefer if he didn't go to Miami because I feel like with what we're probably talking about later in the show, the Chiefs might not have a great run stopping defense, and I wouldn't want to see Miami in the playoffs with Jonathan Taylor.
And Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Because I think that also makes the least amount of sense for Miami, as they can put. Granted, Raheem Mostert is injury prone, but you can put a 96-year-old woman in that backfield with a Walker, and I mean, when you've got to focus on Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill running streaks down the field, the run defense isn't going to be there because you're too focused on the pass. Anybody could make a good run. A toddler could make a good running back in that offense.
Let's try it out.
I'd like to see it.
What,
Deuce
what,
Vaughn, get traded.
Which one would you rather see, a toddler or a 96-year-old woman to walk her?
Ooh, now that's a question. I want to see the toddler.
I did recently saw this on social media. A group of guys decided their fantasy football order by guessing how fast a toddler could run a 40-yard dash.
And then having the toddler run the 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
What was
it's
the,
like
what
the
was
guy who won it the year
How fast
before
do you
had
think
like
a toddler would do it?
Thanks, Sean. But your internet. Go again.
how fast do you think a toddler would what?
Run it.
A 40-yard dash.
That's all it was.
Give me
I mean, I don't have to guess because I watched the video on social media. Like,
okay,
I
so then
know.
I'll
just
guess.
for Ty Bob.
Oh, okay, so great. It's just for me. 40-yard dash. Give me 7.2.
Oh, way longer. You're shorter than like all the guesses too.
I guess yeah, I mean, I guess I probably didn't factor in like a toddler getting
It
sidetracked
fell over
as well.
in the 40-yard dash as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So probably I mean, if I had another guess, I'd probably say like 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
Okay, now you're overshooting it. 25
Oh.
seconds is how long it took the toddler to run the 40-yard dash.
Cool. There we go. Thanks.
My God.
Well, so another team, obviously the Eagles are in. They'll have the Taylor Swift combo if that is somebody whose hat is really in the ring. Supposedly they're the most aggressive in the trade market right now for Jonathan Taylor. Obviously the Dolphins are in, but the trade compensation is going to be much less as they're still trying to recoup from trading for Tyreek. You've also got the Bears who have been heavily involved and need more weapons to surround Justin Fields as the offense, as they'd rather bring in more weapons than surround him with an offensive line.
So if they just give Jonathan Taylor up for picks or other players, who becomes their running back? Do they not want like a running back in return plus some additional picks, or
they're just asking
if
for
they just give
for
up Jonathan Taylor
or multiple day twos?
Who do they have behind him?
Well, they already traded away Naheem Hines, who we know is out for the season with an ACL injury due to a jet skiing incident. Let's take a look. Oh, they've got on the roster Kenyon Drake, Evan Hull. Those are the two namestakes. Kevin Drake has been in the league for Kenyon Drake has been in the league for a while now. He's 29 years old, jumped around on quite a few teams: Vikings, Dolphins, Cardinals, Ravens, Raiders.
Yeah, he's not bad. I would say he's serviceable, but he's not who you want to be like starting in your backfield.
I mean, they clearly don't have anyone outside of Jonathan Taylor that they'd like to have as a starting running back. At the
Every
same
year, like Kenyon Drake makes a couple of like big performances, but it's nothing consistent. He's somebody who have as like a flyer in fantasy football type shit.
Do you think somebody actually makes the trade? Do you think that a trade gets done before the deadline, before he goes into, I mean, they could tag him at the end of this year. If he decides to hold out, he decides to hold out. But do you think somebody makes a trade and then also pays him or has the ability to pay him that $16 million a year that he's looking for?
I don't know, man. The running back scene is a sad sight in today's NFL. Started happening a long time ago. Ironically enough, with the Colts. I believe it was like Edgerrin James coming off a 1,500-yard season, and they let him walk, declined to extend him, and picked up Joseph Adai and did just fine. So a lot of teams look to that evidence as, you don't have to pay your workhorse running backs. Um, so I don't know.
I think Zeke was probably the final domino of that effect as well.
Yeah. I mean, to see Jerry Jones for one way or another waste a lot of money and have a backup play better than Zeke. Um, yeah, it's tough to say. I don't think he gets the 16 million that he wants. Um, and it's sad because a lot of my favorite players in history are running backs. That's what I wanted to be when I was younger, even though in Little League football I wasn't legally allowed to run the ball. Everybody wanted to be a running back back then.
Sean, do you think any of these any team in the league makes the I would call it a mistake because if you do trade for him, you've already put yourself out of leverage. You either have to allow him to walk at the end of the season after giving up multiple day 2 picks or first round pick, or you have to pay him. Like you have no other option. You either pay him what he's asking for, or you have to let him walk and you just wasted a pick for 1 year.
I think somebody's going to end up trading for him. They may be some day 2 picks, but it'll be conditional picks. So they could vary from 4th round to 3rd round to 2nd, depending on how well he plays. As far as the contract situation, I don't think any team will trade for him unless they already have a contract that they are ready to agree upon. But it's going to be in this somewhere between like 12 to 14 mil a year. He's not getting.
You really think conditional picks are going to make their way into the NFL? Obviously, we've seen it happen on like a case by case basis. This isn't the norm. This has happened. I think we've seen trades happen with conditional picks maybe once or twice in the entire lifetime of the NFL. You think the NBA is going to be able to start infiltrating into the NFL with conditional picks when teams and players alike are looking for guarantees with money and with value?